Hey folks, it's Adam again. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. I've had a good weekend myself so far. Spent this morning actually making some jambalaya on my smoker out back, which I love to cook. I find it very relaxing. A lot of people think that's wild, but I love it. So this video is going to be about the fact that we're in early January. I restarted my channel recently. Part of that was a New Year's resolution, although I've never been real big on New Year's resolutions. This year is kind of a year of rebirth for me, restarting this channel, restarting my authenticity, restarting my weight loss and health journey. All of those things are giving me they're elevating me, right? They're lifting me to new heights, and that's what I need to do. And no, I'm not referencing anyone's weekly podcast, though I do listen to the Kelsey brothers every Wednesday, or I think they had an episode this past yesterday with Will Ferrell, which was great. um but no, I'm not referencing their podcast. I'm just saying bringing myself to new heights. Because for a long time I've been stagnant. I've had this feeling of a sort of Damocles over my head. If you're not familiar with the reference, it's a Greek mythology reference, right, where there's this thing always sort of hanging over you, waiting to fall. And I felt that way for a long time about even my lifespan. I've always sort of felt I'm not going to live a particularly long life. And what I realized, and I realized it through therapy, because I've been going to therapy now for a while, and it's been helpful in a lot of ways. But what I've realized is that it's not about um, waiting for fate. It's about doing everything I can to prevent, if I'm right, to prevent that from happening and not making it any easier for fate. Otherwise, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's not a good thing. So I'm all about elevation this year. That's why I'm working on Bartlett's diary book. That's why I'm working on this YouTube video. I'm working on things at work to improve myself. Um, and that's what life is about. It's not it's taking control of your own destiny and deciding that, yeah, other people are always going to have influence over you. They're going to have some degree of authority. Um, and for a long time, I worked in politics for a long time. I was such a nerd, in fact, that when I was 13, my bar mitzvah party theme was the 2020 Democratic National Convention, if you can believe it. Yes, I do have the video to prove that. It's actually in the back of my TV over there right now on a thumb drive. But I've always believed in public service and politics and doing what's better for others, right? Really repairing the world, putting the light back into the vessel, which is a very Jewish concept. Tikkun olam is the repairing the world is the literal translation. I've always believed in that, and I've always believed that public service was an avenue to that. Now, I'm not going to get political on this channel, um, but there are certainly things about the upcoming change of administrations that have me very nervous for our future, um, for my future, for other people who I love, for their future. But again, I'm not going to get political, but suffice to say, that has been a motivator for me to really refocus myself on myself rather than the externalities of electoral politics or societal change. It's really been, how can I change? What can I do to make my impact in the world in a positive way? That's really what I've been focused on. That's what this video and this series are about. That's why I've been cooking more, right? So that's why I've been walking more. I've closed all of my rings on my Apple Watch every day except for last Sunday when I was having some health issues and really not up to it. I've closed my rings every single day so far this year, except for that one. I've started having conversations with folks in a fitness group that are like-minded in terms of their health journeys. Um, I'm not joining a gym, but I do have an elliptical here that I use, and I walk and walk and walk, much to my delight and my dog's sometimes chagrin, because he's in much better shape than I am, right, buddy? Yeah, he's currently laying on his bed, pouting because I am not throwing a tennis ball, which if he had his way, I would be doing 24/7. Uh, it's actually cool here in Arizona today. We actually had a frost warning, and when I took him out this morning at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, there was still frost on the ground. So, not that I'm complaining. Listen, I grew up in Maine. I know what winter is. This ain't winter. But for Arizona, it definitely is not warm, which is okay, because we'll get that again in 4 to 6 months, at full bore, right? It'll be 110 to 120 pretty much every day, over the summer, if last summer was any indication. I also do want to send out my thoughts and prayers to everybody in California dealing with the fires, particularly in the LA area. I have lots of friends. I have some family in that area. Um, as far as I know, everyone has made it out safe, even if not all of their possessions did. I know not everyone overall has made it out safe, and obviously, if you can help and contribute in whatever way, I would highly recommend doing that. I'm certainly intending to find a trusted charity to contribute to help the victims of the fires. It's sad to me that on either side of the aisle somehow that has become political. Obviously, I do think, in my opinion, climate change plays a role, not necessarily in the specific fires, but in the severity and the frequency that we're seeing these massive, um, damaging events from Mother Nature. But that's not political, right? Our future, our continuing to inhabit this planet for ourselves, for our kids, for their kids, is not a political statement. But certainly, I don't think either party should be dividing one another right now. Again, it's about elevating, right? Lifting not only myself up, but lifting you up, lifting one another up, lifting those going through awful things right now up. Recently I lost a friend who was way too young. She had had some health journey challenges of her own, for a while, but her illness came on quite suddenly. Back in 2016, 2017, when I was at some of the darkest times in my life, I was actually living in Massachusetts in an apartment complex that I could afford, with some help from the government, with some help from other people. And this person became, part of my family. She actually really created a family at this apartment complex, just outside of Boston, in Metro West, and we sort of dubbed ourselves the Minions. The complex was called Modera. We called ourselves the Modera Minions, and she really was the center of bringing everyone together. And there were probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 of us who got very close. We would go do things together on the property, off the property. We were always there for each other. And I said to them when we all experienced this loss in our Facebook chat not that long ago, that it breaks my heart that being out here in Arizona, I've lost touch with some of them, but we all try to stay in touch as frequently as we can. And so that's, the timing of that, along with some of these breakthroughs that I've had in therapy, have certainly played a role in all of the decision making that I've gone through, because I really do want to make a change. And some might say, "Listen, Adam, you're 46. It's a midlife crisis." Maybe it's possible. Um, and I don't have kids, and I don't intend to have kids, although I suppose one never knows how that could change in the future. Um, but if I can make a positive change for myself, but more importantly, if I can make a positive change for the people watching this video, for others in the world, um, that's my mission. That's my goal. That's my responsibility and my privilege. That is, I believe in my faith, that is what I am commanded to do. And so I am finally at a place where I can say that I'm able to help fulfill that commandment. And if I give one person hope, if I give one person the confidence to chase their dreams, if I give one person the belief that there is nothing they can't do, if they invest the time in themselves, invest the energy in themselves, um, that I will have left this spinning rock a little better than I found it. And I truly do believe that is all of our jobs, to elevate ourselves, to elevate each other, to elevate the world writ large in our own small way. We're not all going to be Gandhi. We're not all going to be um, Nelson Mandela, right? We're not all going to be one of my heroes, Bruce Springsteen, who elevates people through his music, gives people hope, and inspires people. There are athletes that do it. There are politicians that do it. There are movie stars that do it, I'm sure. Um, but we can all do it in our own small way. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I hope this video will help someone to do, and that this continued series of videos will do as well. So lots more to come. This is a relatively short video, I think, and maybe even a little repetitive, for which I apologize. Like I said, I've been spending most of the day cooking, and I promise to get a video out every Saturday. I know I sent one out earlier this week as well. So, again, there'll be one sometime in the middle of the work week next week, and there'll be another one on next Saturday. So this is me saying, chase your dreams, like, follow, subscribe, and I look forward to comment as well, please. I look forward to talking with you more very soon. Have a great week.